Good morning. Lovely to be with you again for this reflection now on Wednesday, the 9th of September. I'm recording this in my study this time because there's something in this morning's reflection about our normal Monday to Saturday everyday life. And I spend a little bit of time here on most days during the week, as well as, of course, being out and about in our amazing community. Just a question to start us off with. Where is your frontline? Where do you consider your frontline to be? Where do you consider your main area or areas of influence to be? We've heard a lot, haven't we, about frontline workers during this pandemic, and quite rightly, we've celebrated and been grateful for all those who have been frontline workers with healthcare, education, community hygiene, social care, transport, waste management. Do you know, I'm sure I'll have missed out lots of groups of people who have been our frontline workers during this pandemic. And we're so grateful, aren't we, to all those who have continued serving our communities during this time, this last 6 months. But actually, we each have a front line where we spend our time day by day in some activity, whether it's paid or unpaid, whether it's our career or a hobby, whether it's at home or out and about, whether it's with others or on our own, but places of influence where we can make a difference to and for those around us, one way or another, those with whom we have contact, those, if we're home, we speak to on the phone, those we go to work with in the office, those we shop with in our community shops, so many places, our schools, our healthcare. We all have a front line. And as Christians, we can, or should, make all the difference to that environment, which is our front line. We can and should change the atmosphere, the colour, as it were, to something warm, kind, God-honouring, and life-affirming. We can bring something that brings joy to God's heart, as well as wholesome grace, love and care to those around us. Do you know, Jesus himself was delighted after he'd sent his disciples out into the community, when they returned and shared some of the ways in which they'd been able to change the atmosphere where they visited, where they were able to bring God's grace, healing and presence to those they spent time with. Jesus was delighted with his disciples. He celebrated with them when they returned. And actually, being in church on Sundays is a bit like that. It's a bit like returning to Jesus, to gather together with fellow followers of Jesus, to share our stories, to learn from him, to be encouraged, but then going back out into our normal week, where we spend the majority of our time, of course. It's wonderful to be able to grow and to see others grow in fruitful relationship with Jesus every day, out in the places that we spend most of our time, out in the places that we're called to be, out on our front lines with the people that we naturally connect to, doing the things that we do every day, not just on Sundays. So please do join us on this Sunday and the following several Sundays. We're spending 5 weeks actually trying to unpack a little bit more about what that means to us, and what our front line is, and who we are on our front line, why it matters to be on our front line, lots of different topics around that subject. So please do join us. We'll be giving away a little freebie for everybody as a little reminder. So this Sunday we're giving away little coasters with the image, with the logo really, of this idea of being on our front line. So yeah, join us either in church or online. It would be lovely to see you. But to finish this morning, I'd like to share a short video. It's only a couple of minutes, which really introduces the whole idea of our frontline ministry. Each of us, we each have a special place to serve Jesus and to be an influence for him, as it were, to be red dots in a sea of grey, to bring colour to a colourless place and environment maybe. So may God bless you, and hope to see you soon. Enjoy the rest of today.
Over a month, around 6% of the UK gather together to worship Jesus.
It feels like we're too few to make a difference.
But the reality is, Monday to Saturday, God has us, scattered in the world, connecting to hundreds and thousands of people.
So wherever you are,
Whoever you are,
whatever you do,
you can make all the difference in the world.
And on Sundays, when we gather together,
we strengthen and empower one another to be sent out again
For life on our front lines.